So this is the corporate design manual by Aziz. As we can see, she designed it for a GUC kindergarten, and this is like 38 pages, so I'm gonna go through it real quick. This is her PDF. She sent it right to me. I didn't take it like without her notice. Okay. This is like an introduction and her visual concept. Um, she said she used for this one light and bright colors because it's the most colors that represented the children and also attracts them, in her opinion. And she thinks that the identity must reflect the children first and the parents because it's an institute for kids. As you can see here, she made a mood board. I'm just gonna explain what's a mood board to everyone. It's when you're working on a project, you first have to like sort of brainstorm the colors that are relevant to the project you're gonna be working on. You also think of the font you're gonna be working on, and I'm gonna just get a zoom in case it's really small. Okay, um, here you go. That's good. Okay, you get here. She used Dakota, and she collected some pictures for her mood board just to get the whole spirit for of children or theme. The logo type. She's saying I use two small feet in my logo because I choose the name first step, and the first step to any child is to start walking. So I made my logo as two small feet starting to walk in the first step. Um, and you can see this is the logo right here. These are trials, grayscale trials. Logo projection zone, logo positioning, and this is like all trying. She's saying size. You can use my logo with, I think, with the size you want. And there's like a do nots, like she like kind of experimenting with the logo, I guess. Do not do that, do that in order to reach the final result. And the typography. She's saying I use this font in the logo name and in the brochure text for the avant-garde Gothic dummy. And for the Dakota, I used this font only in the titles of the brochure. Illustrations, I used in my illustrations letters, and I did it in a funny way. I made a scenography in Arabic letters. It consists of sticks, and every stick has a letter and at its end. These letters are not shown until the child move it upwards. At the back of each letter, there is a word which begin with the letter. It also a learning game. The kids learn from it a lot. Here you can see some illustrations. Let me get a zoom out. Just yeah, here we go. More illustrations. Examples shows illustrations in kids projects t-shirts. I don't know if that's photoshopped or she did get some kids and tried t-shirts on them. School bag. And this is the first trial for that project. I don't remember what was its name, that thing she was working on. And it's like a game, I think, like for kids. This is the final project. This is the final game. I think it's like a learning game to teach the Arabic alphabet. As you can see, I think these are sticks and you have letters, the Arabic alphabet over here, and the kid flips over the stick, and it says, for example, Alif stands for Arnab, Bih stands for Batta, and you have some more images. This is like a poster, the final poster. We aim to give children a happy life. Here you can see it on the right. And here at the bottom gives you the information about the address and the phone number, website also for the university. And this is the brochure about the kindergarten. It's like build. She's like her project is if they would build a kindergarten inside, you see like how it would. like the whole process gives you some information. Class environment. Getting started. Teaching and learning. This is just like a preview of the whole brochure. I don't have to go through each one of these because it's gonna take a whole long time. This is the final. I think this is the back of the brochure. Yeah, it's the back. And this was it. If you want to read everything in detail, just um, send me and I might send it to you in person. But first, like I think you're gonna have to ask Aya's permission or something, or maybe I can just send it to you. Okay. Okay. So this is Norhan Almar's final graphic design project for the corporate manual. It's also about a kindergarten. I'm not sure if they all had to do it about a kindergarten or she just decided to do it the same as Aya's. She named it the Fairy Kindergarten. It's also 25 pages, so I'm gonna go through it real fast as well, in order not to take too long. And here you have the introduction and visual concept. I'm just gonna read the visual concept. The visual concept is made to be simple looking, colorful, playful, and innocent, using illustrations to give the parents the impression and feeling that the kindergarten resembles a safe, dreamy fantasy land where their children can have fun in the short time spent in the kindergarten, yet still learn the basics a child needs to learn. And here you have the mood board. I explained what a mood board is in as PDF. Here you have the colors, the bright colors she chosen to resemble childhood. And you have these cartoony frogs, which are really cool. And you have some pictures. This is her logo. The logo type. The logo consists, let me first get a zoom in before reading this one. The logo consists of the words fairy kindergarten and illustration of a fairy child, as we see here. The fairy child is flying and touching or casting a charm on the word, giving a magical fantasy feeling to the logo, as well to give a friendly, childish feeling to the logo. It was inspired by the love of children to fairy tales and cartoons. The illustration was done in silhouette and an abstract way to refer to the simple minds of children. I love cartoons too, by the way. And you have, okay, the colors, logo positioning. I'm just gonna scroll that away. And the do and do nots. You have this also like eliminations for the things she shouldn't do in her logo in order to keep the theme for the final results. For example, do not slant, do not change the colors, do not add any effects, and so on. Back to colors again. And this for the typography, she chosen Myriad Pro. Myriad Pro was chosen as the corporate font for the kindergarten because it is comfortable to read and it gives off warmth, which is suitable to give the target group the impression of care and security. Lowercase letters are the only ones to be used to prevent any impression of strictness and harshness that uppercase letters can give off. However, the uppercase letters can be used in the names of partners or sponsors or other institutes. Here you can have a look at how Myriad Pro is. Most of you know it. Okay, the image language, these are really cool. The illustrations used must be simple, abstract, yet can be clearly understood. They must not be too realistic and they have to be inclined to cartoonish illustrations. They must give off a childish, innocent, and playful impression. The mascots of the classes must be used in everything related to the classes. However, they don't have to be used in matters related to kindergarten in general. I really like those. You have the fish class mascot, the apple class mascot, the bird class mascot. These are really cool. Simple. I like that they're simple and creative at the same time. Like I'm thinking, if you take those to for an animation to be for kids or something, be really cool as well. And the mouse class mascot, the graphical elements. This right here is a business card. She made a business card, as you can see. This is the back on the second side, and this is the front. Okay, the application. She made a brochure. Actually, her brochure out of like a paper cube. The children can play with cubes that have each mascot on one side and the logo on the last side, and it can be easily constructed out of paper. Pretty creative. As we can see here, if you flatten it out, you can see on each side, like it explains each mascot, as we read before, is related to something in class. So just for example, here, if I try and get a zoom in and read one of the mascots, for example. Oh, it's actually in German, so I'm not reading that. Okay, so this was the last slide. So if also you'd want to get that in details as well, just send me a message and I'll send it right to you. Okay, now I'm gonna be talking about media design, which is my field. So finally, I'm gonna know how to talk more about stuff. I'm gonna be talking about the final project. We had to shoot a chase. We had to make a 3 minutes movie. The theme was chasing Carol. We were given two main characters, Mr. Black and Mrs. Red. We weren't given any description or characteristics for them. We had to make up a story as well. And I'm gonna be showing you here an example of a movie, actually, The Rhythm of Tendon, which is starring Ahmed, Ayman, and Amira Khaled. She was also the makeup artist. Ahmed Aziz, music composer, and Hisham picked the movie's name. For the group work, Ranin was the cameraman, Heba Mohsen camera operator, locations, and also production editing. Sallam was the director. It took them 2 months with lots of trials and changing the story more than 2 times to get the movie. Damn! Same happened with us with our own movie. The thing is, we weren't specified a certain time limit for the movie, so I kept on writing a story for a 90 minutes full movie, and we had to cut it short, cut it short, cut it short, till we pretty much ruined the movie at the end. Damn! So, Rhythm of Tendon, here you go. Enjoy it.
Every time you hear that